The Lure Battle Perch League is finally here. Sit back, watch 7 of the best anglers battle it out against each other. Filmed throughout the UK, this is a bank-only Perch League competition. 16 hours worth of fishing throughout the UK, which is spread over 8 episodes. The rules will be explained as we go along, so let's get straight into it. It's now 5 AM. Ash Costa is the first on the bank from Gunki UK.
Hi everyone and welcome to episode 1 of the Lure Battle Perch League. I'm Ash Costa and I'm representing Gunki UK. So to start with, we're going to fish this area and we're just going to feel our way into it. I haven't really got a plan as such. I've got an outside chance of an half decent fish here, but it's probably going to be more numbers of small fish. But we'll give it a go and we'll see what we catch. First cast of Lure Battle Perch League. I'm going to smash this lure up against the bridge. Got to be honest, no follows on the first chuck is not necessarily a good sign for this spot. If the fish are here, normally you at bare minimum will get follows. We've had nothing. So we've just gone on to drop shot. Always a good way of just finding whether there's any feeding fish. If you don't get them up on drop shot, then you're probably just not going to get them. But this is not the start I was hoping for. There's a fish. He's not big, but he's the first one. So I don't think he's going to make the biggest fish of the competition, but we are off the mark. We are off the mark. We'll slip him back, and he's number 1 on the clicker. Again, it's not a big fish, but it is a fish. Little tiny bit bigger, but still, he's not worth putting on the mat. Number 2.
I don't know about you, Ash, but I probably would have measured them.
It would be a disaster to leave this venue without 50 fish in regards to numbers, and I don't think that's going to happen with the start we've had. I know we've only been fishing for 10 minutes, but you do get a feel for a venue, you know what it should be like, you know how it can fish. Like I say, we fished this last week. Better fish, that's a better fish. We fished this last week and it was quite prolific. So I don't think the fish are here in numbers like there was. This is not a monster, but it's definitely bigger. I don't know, I have to say. I made a right numpty job there of trying to net that fish. Jesus. Thought he deserved to lose that, which I might, because he snagged me up. It's a good job that weren't a big fish, because I made myself like a bit of a prat there. So I reckon he might go 38. Oh, hang on. Is he a 40? That's a 40, isn't it? He's touching 40. So a bit of a relief that. I did say there was an outside chance of a decent fish here. 40 centimetres is no monster, but I was hoping to get, if we do a top 5 on the first day, if this is the smallest fish on the top 5, then I'll be quite happy with that. But a lot's got to go right to get another 4 over 40, so we'll slip him back. We've got loads of time left, and we'll see what we can catch next.
Not a monster again for Ash Costa at 40 centimetres. I'll take that every day of the week. However, there are some rules we need to go through. Each of the anglers have been given a clicker, which will account for how many fish they have caught in that episode and throughout the day. We will award 1 point to the angler who's caught the most fish throughout that whole day. So let's head over to our next angler, who is our wild card. Welcome, Hayden. He started at 5:02, so let's see what his plan is.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Lure Battle Perch League 2025. My name is Hayden. I am your wildcard winner. I'll be representing Tacklewave UK. That is Major Craft and Kitech. It is bright and early. We're around 5 AM, a couple of minutes past 5. and I need to really get cracking. Let's go and catch some perch. First cast, here we go. Top water's not looking great right now. No reactions at all. So it will be time to change in a second. Changing already. All right, we've got on a creature bait now. Right, let's keep changing. That was a big perch. Just hit into a big fish. Just popped straight off. Didn't hook up. Got the 5-inch shad on. Obviously got a reaction. Weren't a solid bite. We'll see.
Hayden is certainly an accomplished angler, so he's definitely going to give the guys a run for their money as the wild card. Now, heading up to Scotland, welcome Michal Wittstock from Westin-UK.
Alright guys, so we're on the way for the first spot, and just look what view we're gonna have today. It's nice, pure landscapes, white landscapes, so I need to prepare everything what I'm gonna need. So lure box, measurement. I forgot my net. My net. I'll be back. Right guys, it's 5:15 in the morning. Episode 1, first cast. Let's go. I need a net. Quite rocky and slippy, but hey ho. Let's go, Perchy. Let's go. The spot what I chose is very close to the dam. Like everybody know, Perch loves structures. And with the swimming around the loch, it's like a natural barrier for them. So they should be here and they should to stop. At the same time, it's a really good spot for hiding for them, for the other predators like pike. So they can feel safety over here. And I'm sure they're here, but I just need to get that one bite to feel confident. So do it again. For now, it's nothing really happened. There is one small touch, probably small perch. For now, I'm just gonna stay with the jigging, but I think in a few minutes, I'm gonna do a drop shot. Your enemy is a time. There is no chance that you're gonna win with the time, but what you can do, you can save a lot of. So make sure you are prepared. You have everything what you need, like scissors, your wallet with the traces. So everything is ready and just easy to grab and tie new knot, new rig. Can't believe it. There is nothing really happened. Totally that I have one small bite, but I'm sure that was small fish. Guys, so the first spot didn't deliver it, so that wasn't my plan. I was expect that we're gonna catch something here. We're gonna spend more time, and obviously we're gonna catch some nice fish. But it didn't work, so I need to change plan quite quickly. We're gonna go to another spot. At the same time, we're gonna waste some time because we need to drive nearly 15 minutes, and we need to walk another 10 probably. So we're gonna lose the time, but it is what it is. I'm sure we're gonna back here, maybe around 7, 8. It depends what's gonna happen in the next spots. So So finger crossed, we're gonna catch some fish. Let's go.
A bit of a slow start for Michael, but what a stunning place. Wading is allowed up to his knees. He must have some massive knees there, but I'm sure he won't forget his net later on. Now we're heading over to see Charlie Coppolo, who is fishing for Croix UK.
Today we are in the absolutely stunning Lake District and specifically on S-Weight water. I had to make a bit of an audible last minute. I had loads of cool fishing planned on the rivers and the rain came, killed the rivers, so I've had to go out searching, and this is where we've ended up today. We'll probably try somewhere different tomorrow. I think it's going to be a numbers game today, but just as we're getting set up and getting some initial shots on the camera, we've noticed a few fish hitting fry behind us, so we're going to have 5 minutes literally in this spot, just on top water, seeing if we can nick one before we really get started. Okay, here we go. It is 5:57. We're going to start now, and there's loads of fry on the surface here, so we're just going to chuck a top water across them, just literally 5 minutes, and then we're going to head round to our main areas. But there we go, first cast of episode 1 away. If we can get one on top water early, that would boost the confidence a little bit. Okay, so as I half mentioned earlier, my sort of plans were scuppered by the rain. We had lots of cool things planned in the river, going crankbaiting in shallow water, but that's off the cards now. So I think today is going to be a numbers game. I've had a good think about it, and I sort of looked at the other guys in the competition. I think most of them are going to go for big fish, be it either single big fish or top 5. So I think my best chance at points this time of year for me, I'm going to struggle to catch numbers of big fish. So I think I've just got to go for numbers and try and catch as many perch as I can. I've sort of done the maths, and I think between 30 and 40 fish I think would be pretty decent. So realistically I need to be averaging 4 to 5 fish an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but as you know, fishing is fishing and it doesn't always go that way. So like I said, we're going to try this top water for not waste much time at all, 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to go just try and catch some numbers. There's some deeper water in closer on the other side. And I think tactics wise, it's going to be pretty similar all day. It's not going to change much. We'll be on the drop shot, small lures, sub 2 inch, and just try and get bites. If we happen to bump into some better ones along the way, then so be it. But we're not going to be out and out targeting big fish. We're just going to be getting a bite from any perch of any size and just try and really rack up those numbers. I think if we can get over 30, I'd be quite pleased. If we can get over 40, I'd be really pleased. Nope, right. Like I said, back to plan A, jump in the car, head around the other side, get the drop shot on, and if all goes to plan, start racking up some numbers.
So Charlie getting into the other anglers' heads there. Just so you let you know, the anglers don't know what each other of them are doing or where they are. They are totally blind on how the other people are doing. So they don't know the results. So it's going to be interesting to see how the mind games happen. So we're now down to Oxford with Adam Jones for a new tungsten brand called FiTU.
Good morning, welcome to the first episode of the Lure Battle Perch League. My name's Adam Jones, London perch finder from the various social platforms, and I am out doing something I don't do very often, and that is perch fishing this time of year. Dave does get us doing some interesting things, and I couldn't turn down the opportunity when asked by my friend Momo from FiTU, who I'm doing some work with. FiTU is a tungsten brand that Momo's just started, and he's speaking to Dave and got an entry into this and asked me if I wanted to have a go. And you can't say no to a mate, can you? So here I am, we are out fishing. We've had a couple of weeks of just unbelievably glorious weather, but very low, very weedy rivers. This morning, without even checking the weather forecast, because we just assumed that it was going to be a nice day, it is absolutely peeing down with rain. So I've cobbled together some wet stuff that's in my car, so apologies for the stupid jacket. It's like a surf jacket designed for keeping you warm after you've been in the sea, but it's the only thing I've got in the car, so I look pretty ridiculous. Dave has very kindly sent some Perch League towels that I think were designed for maybe wiping your hands, but they're going to be perfect for drying off later on in the day. Plan for this morning is to get on the river and fill a card first. There's loads of ramifications, top water, biggest fish, all of that sort of stuff. But the first thing I want to do is try and get 5 perch on a measure. We're on the Thames, it's low and it's weedy. They could be anywhere. I think we're going to have to cover a fair amount of ground. But that's perch fishing this time of year. I've got some various setups. I've got a cheb rig on there. I've got a shad on a cheb rig, and then I've also got a drop shot as well. Let's get 5 perch on the card before we figure out what we're going to do next, and fingers crossed we'll find them quite quickly. So come with us. Hopefully this rain is going to stop at some point, so I'm sure at some point in the next few episodes this rain will stop, and the game plan will change from there. But come with us, let's see if we can find a perch. Right, so here it is, it's 6:30, first cast. I've got a FiTU 5 gram cheb on there with a weedless setup and a little swim slims. We found ourselves a bit of a whirlpool, some movement in the water. It's really stagnant, as you'll probably see from some of the B-roll that James has got. So we're just trying to get over the top of the weed, over the top of that marginal shelf. And fingers crossed there's a few perch. That's the plan. So here we go. There we go. I said I wanted to fill a card with perch. That is a very small one, but that is the first perch of the Perch League for me. So that is 22. All right, so there we go. There's the first perch of the Perch League. Let's get it back in. And it's that way. Go on. Hopefully many more, and hopefully some bigger ones. But number 1, 4 to go to fill the card. Let's go. Right, number 2. Again, we're going for babies at the moment, but that is, so that's just on 19 there. Right, there we go, another one. Got to throw this a little bit because it's so shallow on the edge. There's a little shoal of fish there, just on the edge of the drop-off where I said there'd be. The problem is it's a shoal of little fish, rather than a big one. So we just get untangled here, and then I'll talk you through a little bit of what we're doing. So I'm fishing a 5 gram cheb weight with a little size 1 EWG and a slim swim. So I'm fishing it a little bit like a jig head, but there's so much weed in the system at the moment that I also want to be able to let that get to the bottom and fish it slower on the bottom as well within the retrieve. So that's why I've gone for a cheb over maybe an open jig head. The only downside to this, I've got some open jig heads in the bag, is especially when you're trying to knock off 20-25 centimetre perch, often that hook is a little bit far back, but it doesn't seem to be putting them off this morning. So that's what we're doing, just fishing that like a jig head, but it just allows us to be able to get it on the bottom without snagging up every single time. And it would be nice if amongst that shoal there was some in that 35 centimetre range. And I think, you know, fishing's all about expectations in your own mind. And my expectations this morning is trying to find some fish in that 35 centimetre bracket. I'll be really happy if my average is 35, 36, because then I can go on and focus on catching some better fish, which is a nice fish just rolled in the weir, and I think that was a barbel. Yeah, focus on catching some better fish, but my expectations for here are kind of in and around that 30 centimetre mark. So in a second we're going to leave this pool and move just down the river a touch, where there's the first area of the river where it starts to go deep again, and there's a shoal of fish that have been hanging around there that I'd like to try and kind of knock off the rest of the fish for this first 5. So we're 2 down, 3 to go. There's a few things for those that know of me that I'm doing that's not usual. I'm fishing a fixed spool rod for starters, rather than a BFS rod, and that's mostly just because I'm fishing those lighter weights, and especially here I want to be able to cast it quite a lot further. The second thing I'm about to do, which I don't usually do, is I'm going to get a drop shot, because those fish are sat in a very, very tight area. I think if I can put a drop shot there, I can just knock them out a little bit quicker. So just grab another rod and I'll be back.
Great to get into Adam's mind how he's going to tackle these perch, but maybe he should have left that jacket at home. So to continue with the rules, we do have a top 5 point available, which is a combination of their top 5 perch that they have caught throughout the day. Down to the south coast now to see Will Pender from Tacklewave, known as a bass angler, but a very accomplished perch angler. Let's see how he gets on.
Yo, it's Will Pender, down here in the southwest. We're on Exeter Canal and it's day one of Predator Tackles Perch League. I'm absolutely buzzing to get started. Rough plan for today. We're going to hit the canal for some perch, chop and change it up a little bit, a few sections, and then might move on to a bit of river later. Yeah, trying to avoid the pike, avoid the heat, have some fun, and yeah, shout out to Tacklewave. First cast, 725. Perch League 2025. Oh, first contact. Oh, little tackers. And there's fish number one. First cast, Waspin. I don't think we'll measure this one, but just happy to get the ball rolling. Got a shoal of hungry little perch here. Come on. There's another one, number two. Fin perfect. Little perch. There's plenty of fish moving. See if we can get into some. There's another one. So no monsters, but we can play the numbers game. There he is. A slightly better one. Not major, but fish number four. They're getting better. There we go. So this little guy was deep hooked, obviously pretty hard on the feed. Yeah, whilst I was taking the little hook out, it just snapped, but thankfully we've managed to remove both parts without damaging this guy any further. So we'll do a click and get this guy back in, and then I'll re-rig. Just going to rig up. We're using some nice quality decoy hooks, not your standard drop shot, but I prefer a slightly longer shank. These ones have got a little kink in them, but yeah, just going to do Palomar knot or Palomar knot. I don't know how you say it, but I'm going to keep it fairly simple. Standard drop shots they're active. I'm not fishing it traditionally. Just using the weight to kind of control it as it comes up the wall. So it's 4 fish in 4 casts, so we'll stick at it, and then maybe switch to some more active jig head methods in a little while. That's the plan anyway. Okay, there's number 5 again on the drop shot. Shad impact, and away he goes, butterfingers. Let's keep on going. Just first kind of point as fish move along the wall into a bit of deeper water. See if we can get them as they ambush them. There we go. Proper little wasp, and he's got a shoal of friends with him. He came up with about 10 mates. There we go. Try and hold on to this one. Plop him back and click. To be fair, today this is really the only spot we're going to get the numbers. It's a waspy spot, as you can see. So yeah, that's on the Magbite Goodridge Funk Rod. Yeah, available through Tacklewave and all good retailers that stock their stuff.
We're going to leave Will there with his waspin, and it looks like he's definitely going to go for the numbers point. The anglers get to choose exactly when they want to start fishing. They've got 8 hours to complete their day. Robbie decided to start a little bit later. It's now 12:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to head over to the fens to find Robbie Northman from Savage Gear.
Here we go. I am Robbie Northman from Savage Gear, and we're about to start Lure Battle 2025. This is a bank stage fishing for perch, and we're here in my local region, which is East Anglia. There's not a lot of bank access around here, so we're going to do a lot of spot hopping from little public stave and millpool to public stave and millpool, hopefully nick a few fish out. It's just a regular day's fishing for me, so we're going to try and catch all of the targets. We'll try and get a few on top water, we'll try and net a few. I think we'll try and do some micro fishing as well, and fingers crossed it's enough to do well in this one, but we'll see. It's a beautiful day for it. It's been raining absolutely biblically this morning. Thunderstorms are works, but now it's brightened up. Fingers crossed, we've got about 8 hours to fish, and yeah, we should get a few. Okay, the time is 12:30 exactly. We're going to go for the first cast, hopefully under the bridge and not into it. But let's flick that back there, nice little skip. Ah, micro perch. There we go. That'll be the first one for us. I'm not going to measure that because I'm sure we will get bigger, but we'll drop him back. And I've left the counter in the jacket pocket. Oh gosh. That's a click. I'm just going to go through the tackle that I'm using. Now this is the SG8 Revenge rod, the one that I used in the first lure battle. It's a 1 to 7 gram. I always forget if it's 1 to 7 or 1 to 8. It's a nice fast action rod, but it's not super progressive. It's got a soft enough tip that you can retain hook sets on dainty little lures and fine trebles. Essentially, you've got some 7-pound braid to 7-pound fluorocarbon, and this is a jigger rig. It's a slightly adapted version. Essentially, I've tied myself a non-slip loop knot in there with the weight and the hook on the actual loop. That allows it to have a little bit more range of movement without being quite as obvious and obtrusive as a big clip. I like that, just that little bit more separation on the silty bottom helps present the lure. It also gives that nice soft hinge, which for species like chub and perch, when they're being a little bit finicky, does definitely increase the bite rate. There's just a little Ned Craw, black and red, my favourite colour for perch. Yeah, very scatty. Where are you hiding? Fishy sort of area. There we go. No. No, we'll have a click for him. Going to try a couple of casts from the other side of the bridge, and then we're going to move spots, because I say with these really public areas, if someone's been through this morning, fished it, or if they're switched off, there's no point flogging a dead horse. There's lots of water to go at, so we'll give it a couple of casts and we'll move on, and fingers crossed we'll find some active fish. It's the side of someone's bait caster.
That's all the anglers now on the bank. So who's going to win? It's going to be a very close match. There's a lot of different techniques going to come out just to see if we can catch some perch and put some perch on the bank. So how are they going to be crowned the winner? So we've looked at the clicker, how many fish they're going to catch in a day. We've looked at the top 5. We've got the top water point, and we've also got the biggest fish. Remember, these top water points and the biggest fish and the combined 5 can all be the same with one fish. You could catch one very big fish on top water, which will give you the top water point, also give you the biggest fish point, and also be a combination of your top 5. So at the end of the day, we will award out these 4 points, but that is only for day 1, and then we'll calculate it again for day 2, and then we'll add them together and combine all the scores for 4 extra bonus points.
Problem is with that gungy weed, when you cast in it, you're not 100% sure if your lure is, it's fish, if you, well, this is potentially, could be a good fish, this. Come out of the water then like a pike. Feels heavier than the last one. Oh, hang on, it ain't a pike, is it? Oh, do you know what? Whenever we've done anything like this, where I've needed pike, everybody that knows I've struggled with a pike. I knew this was going to happen today. I'll tell you what, look, I've caught a perch and a pike's hit the perch. So to be fair, even if it was like the knockout version of the lure battle, it still wouldn't have counted because I've not technically hooked him. Well, there's, oh, you ever seen that? That pike has done a real number on him. I don't really know whether to put that out of his misery. I don't think that fish is going to survive that. So what we'll do with this, it's not very nice and I'm going to do it off camera, but I am going to knock this fish on the head because that's not, if you have a look, that pike is near enough pit his head off. That's unbelievable.
We were a little bit unsure whether to leave this one in, but these things unfortunately do happen when predator fishing.
We've got this real horrible gungy type of weed. There's a lot of weed that we do get around here that can actually help the fishing. You can fish through it, it can actually hold some really big fish under it. But that gungy stuff, you can't really fish through it properly. And it is a pain in the arse. But it is what it is. There will be a way of fishing either through it or on it. You get this type of stuff, and there's two ways you can look at it. It's either, oh, it's unfishable, it's no good, or the way that I like to look at it is that my angling hasn't evolved to allow me to fish it effectively yet. But then you've just got to think of other things that you can do. You know, rigs can you use? Is there an existing rig that you can slightly modify? I don't really want to just whack 20 gram of tungsten on just to plummet through it because you're fishing a little bit. I like to fish more on the finesse side of things, but we'll figure it out one day, that's for sure. I think as it currently stands, the weed is getting the better of us. Where the fish are, it's not fishing it effectively. Really, really annoying. We can maybe whack like a weedless topwater through there, but we'll have to use quite a big bait because you have to, obviously fishing them weightless to get the range, which puts catching numbers of fish completely out right from the start, which kind of ruins the plan almost. For, well, I say the plan. We had a route sort of plotted for the first day. 2 of the spots you're not going to catch big fish from, but we ideally needed to catch 30 fish from here, 20 to 30 fish from the next spot, and then hit them other spots. And then the idea was if we could end up with about 150, 160 fish on the first day, and then take it from there. But we're just not going to be able to, we're not going to do that with this weed. I've one more chuck on this, is persevere, and I want to put a top water through it. I'm going to probably have 2 casts on the top water, and then we're going to probably move spot a fair bit sooner than what I initially wanted. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. That's worth it. If they don't get a bite with that lure right in amongst it, then they're not happening. It's not happening. We'll move.
Right, top water's not even getting them fired up, so I'm guessing it's not even warm enough right now. It was a cool 14, 15 degrees when we got here, so I'm hoping the temps warm up a little bit and we can fish a little bit faster and a little bit more aggressive. Don't count. See that foul hook? small, that. We'll try something different again. I've lost one big perch. They don't seem to be very active right now. I've got one reaction bite from a very large lure, and I've had a couple of smallies on the small stuff. Let's keep going. Fishing a little bit light for this waterfall, maybe a little bit too light, but it is finding some perch. Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think they're very active right now. There's not much going on. We're out.
That'll do.
We're just about to leave, guys. I've had a quick chuck off the bridge whilst the cameraman was getting his stuff ready. Ended up with this nice one, probably around 27 centimetres. We are going to get her on a measure and have a quick look. 27 centimetres. We are going to be moving spot. We have about a 10-minute drive ahead of us, so let's get going.
First clicker. Small fish. Right guys, so I had a deal with my cameraman that if you're gonna catch first fish, there must be front of the camera. Unfortunately, that is probably the smallest perch in the world. Look how small it is. But fish is a fish. I don't want to drop it. You can see it. They are beautiful, but this is not what we're after. So, but to be honest, I'm gonna reset clicker number 1. Let's go. So what I'm doing right now, I'm casting just above the stone fence, what is coming through to the water. Usually it's called some perch. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. And I'm doing using a twitch bait. Another small fish. This one was unfortunately bad hook, so doesn't count. A few more casts, and we're gonna change spot again. If there's only fish that size, like I said, this is not what we're after, but click is a click. There it is. Oh, I feel better. Yeah, I could be a 30. Yeah. What is that? Oh no, it's a pike. A wee jack. Wrong species, guy. But it's always nice when something's gonna bend your rod. I was hoping for a perch this size, but can't complain. Fish is a fish. We're gonna make a few casts over here see what's gonna happen. Because on the first spot when we struggled to get any bite, we came here and straight away I have a few small hits by small perch, and then there was that jack. So oh, there it is. Oh no, it's a bad hook. No, there it is. Close to the mouth. Small fish, but click is a click. Number 2, only small fish. Time to change the spot. We don't gonna waste our time for that kind of fish. So let's go, guys.
Okay, so we've moved around the other side. I've got my Legend Tournament bass. This is the 6'10", medium light extra fast. It's the drop shot. It's called drop shot finesse, is it? Drop shot something? Drop shot finesse. Drop shot rig, size 8 hook, Z-Man baby baller, and a tiny little drop shot weight. And we're just gonna basically drop shot along the edges of these tree lines and things. You know, there's not a hell of a lot of cover here, so most of the perch are going to be under these overhanging trees. So we're just going to basically bounce along this bank and just pick off pockets of fish and try and rack up some numbers. So let's see if we can get the first one ticked off. Well, 5 minutes and not had a bite, which doesn't sound like long, but I had practiced here a few days ago and bites were thick and fast, which is, I'm not quite concerned yet, but another hour's time I might be. So I've just chucked out long, just to see if the fish are just holding off in that slightly deeper water before the sun gets up properly. I imagine it'd be quite cool in this edge at the minute. They might want the warmth to be able to move in. There's fish behind me here, but I can't see what they are. If I can get one bite, it'll give me something to work on. At the moment, I've got nothing to work with. Although I've got the drop shot set up, I've got a second rod behind me with a top water, with a Ilex water moccasin on. Should we get an opportunity, it's going to be few and far between the top water stuff today. Stop getting there. But I want to be able to react quickly if we see some fish on the surface and smash and fry. So I have a rod basically all day. In fact, both days with a top water on. I've been thinking about it, how to best maximise my chances, and a big top water fish could be huge for points. Obviously, if you get a big top water fish, there's potential for the top water point. Oh, that might be the bite. But also, there's nothing saying you couldn't take the biggest fish point as well. Oh, that's a little one following, tiny. 2, 3, 4 little ones following. Oh, in fact, there's 50 small ones there. Probably actually too small even for this setup. Oh! I need to not concentrate on these fish that don't want to eat. Maybe they want it quicker. Okay, I think we're gonna try another tree. Try this opposite bank. Yeah, fish on. There's number one. Almost don't want to measure it, but you've got to measure the first one. Okay, hardly a specimen, not really what we're after, but it is all of 11 centimetres. So that ticks us off to get started. Okay, not the most exciting and not the biggest fish I hope to catch over the next 2 days, but it is the first of the Perch League, the Lure Battle Perch League. So it's an important fish, and we're going to treat it with respect, and we're going to let it go nice and gently, and hope we find either one about that big or loads of them.
So we do hope Charlie does catch some bigger ones, but just to clarify, there is no minimum centimetre length of perch to be measured in this competition.
Right, we're definitely not getting as many bites here as we should, so we need to find somewhere where we can. I'm just going to try, basically just keep moving along these little openings in the trees and just find a group of fish. I think once we find them, bites should be thick and fast. It's just finding them first. Oh, I forgot to click.
Right, so interestingly, a couple of casts with the drop shot where I thought I'd be able to hold it in position a bit more. No bites, back on the bottom, and another perch. So sometimes they just want it really close to the bottom. And that one is 20 centimeters. Right, there we go, perch number 3. And we are getting ever closer to filling a card. Like I was just saying, really interesting that obviously that cheb presentation right on the bottom is giving them a little bit more time to come to it and therefore hit it than a suspended drop shot. So they're obviously not wanting to come up to that drop shot, but they are definitely wanting to hit the cheb on the bottom. So that's fishing. You've got to try and pay attention to those things. Is it just that I don't like fishing drop shot? I gave up really quickly, maybe. But that was first cast back with the cheb head after 3 or 4 casts with the drop shot. Like I said, they are in a very specific position, and I had no results. So the change back to the cheb, instantaneous fish. So let's see if, like everything, I can repeat that good demonstration. Let's get these 5 out of here and then we'll go and try slightly further down. Right, so I've just lost my faithful slim swims. So I've just got myself another 5 gram cheb head. As you can see, that's a well-used packet. That one is done. And a size 1.0, so that's the Ryugu. That goes really nicely with the slim swims. It's just a slightly smaller 1.0 than I usually use. I know that's a weird thing to say because they should all be the same size, but as we know, hooks are not created equal. This one is perfect for slightly smaller presentations. Still gets that lovely weedless effect, but it's just a really nice size profile, as you can hopefully see on the camera there. Quite like the way that bend comes down as well, just sits really nicely on the slim swims. So that is the rig. With a cheb, all you do is pop out the pin that is inside that cheb. You've got a curved section of the cheb pin, so you want your hook to sit without stabbing yourself. Sit on that section there, which you can hopefully see on the GoPro, so that it can articulate. And then the only other thing to think about with the cheb is make sure that it is the right way up when you put your pin back in. Now, usually, certainly with a FiTU, you're going to find that you've got your number pointing in the right direction. Sometimes that number is not in the right direction. The best way to see that being in the right place is the top of that pin is at the top of the cheb. Now, the reason that's important, if that's upside down, your bait is going to present upside down. So that's all you really need to think about. Very, very simple rig. And then you can connect that either directly with a knot to fluorocarbon, or if you're using really light fluorocarbon, use a nice small clip just to protect your knot. And that is the cheb rig. So let's go grab ourselves a slim swims and go again. One more cast here. And then let's head down the river. That spot over there has kind of gone a bit quiet now. Probably only been fishing for 20 or so minutes. Sometimes it's funny how if you just move slightly further down the bank and change the angle of your cast, you can just winkle out a couple of extra fish. I'm convinced that perch get used to lines of lures, and it's interesting, especially on a lot of the pressured spots in the winter, how if you're fishing from a certain part of the bank where you've been catching them and those bites dry up, if you then go to the same area on a boat and fish it from the opposite direction, those fish will still be there. They're definitely wise up to directions. So it's worth thinking about that on any session. If it just slows down, just obviously change up lures, but also just change up that position and see if you can excite one into a bite.
Fishing it just off the wall. I've got some kind of summer fuzzy weed growth. So let's see if the perch will come out of that. Lots of hits. Another angry wasp. Click. Unlucky 13. Let's hope we can get off this one quick. There seems to be a bit more action. I'm going to have one more cast on this and then we're going to switch to top water for a minute and then we'll go from there. 5 minutes of changing it up. Oh, there's the top water fish. I know that there are guys out there that will smash way bigger. That is one ambitious perch. Let's do it. Just in case nobody else manages it, which I doubt very much. Big up to the proper perch guys. This is jokes. No accidental hit on the top water, so we'll actually get it up on the measurement and we're going to call him 10. Quick photo from Dave. Top water's 10 centimetres. Not going to break any records, but we'll try it. Let's have it. Quick ping that across to Dave so he can have a laugh over his morning coffee.
We may laugh, Will, but well done. That 10 centimetre top water could get you that top water point.
In front of us here we've got a little bit of fish topping, whether that's bait fish or perch, I don't know, but we'll have a flick over it and see if our stripy friends, not the pike, want to come and play. So we're just chopping and changing through the hard lures just to see if we can get a reaction bite from something bigger. Didn't really work with the top water, that 10 centimetre monster. But yeah, not going to give this long here. If it happens, it happens and we'll stay on it. If it doesn't, I'm going to switch back to kind of a more finesse, slower kind of action and yeah, we'll just keep playing for the numbers to start with. And if a big one comes along, it's more than welcome. This is a slightly better fish. That's a slightly better one. Doesn't really need the net, but we'll net him. Just so that I can use the net. There we go. We're going to call him 21. No monster, but we've measured, so let's find some more. And there we go. Off you go, mate. Don't tell your friends, but much appreciated.
Rain. I think it's down here somewhere. So I will know, I actually fished this stretch before. So we're going on a bit of a whim here. I don't even know the way to it, so we'll see. I've heard there's perch here. A backpack style. So we have actually found the river. Again, it's looking in nice condition. It's tidal here, so we've got an outgoing tide by the look of it, which, to be honest, is my preferred one to fish. And yeah, I mean, to start with, I think we're just going to blind around top waters on this river and then look for areas that are more likely to hold fish. So the problem with bass top waters is they don't half cast far. We'll blame it on that, not my lack of judgment. There we go, that'll do. we're just going to smash through spots to locate these fish. Anywhere that looks kind of bland and open like this, we'll just blind with top water. When we get to some areas with cover and trees, we'll maybe drop a Ned rig in as well, just to see if there's fish around. At the moment, it's like trying to learn a new section, so we're just going to keep on the move, keep looking, and hopefully find a few fish. Deep flowing water and a bit of a fry shoal, so with this kind of depth on the margins, it's definitely worth dropping a soft plastic in. I might have to up the weight a little bit here, we'll see. Slow drop is good. That might have been a little hit there. Go again, swim that up and over. Okay, I can see the culprit. We've got the tiny perch. Oh, you little bugger. I don't know why, but it's so fun, even if they're little perch, when they chase it like that. Okay, don't get sidetracked by the 3-ounce perch, Robbie. There's bigger stakes here. Sneaky. There's some chub on the surface over there, and being a chub angler at heart, I can't resist putting on a small micro popper and having a go at them at least. Hey, it'd be daft not to, wouldn't it? I'm probably going to lose my lure in this tree. Oh. This is so typical of chub, to short strike behind the surface lure and miss the hooks. They're absolute masters of it. They aren't very big chub, mind, but with them in front of us, it almost seems daft not to have a bit of a go. Yeah, got that one. Yes. Oh. Come on. Through the weed gap, through the weed gap. Oh. Come on, out of there. Come on, out of them weeds. Oh. You locked me up, little bugger. Come on, swim it out of there. Try and get that braid off. There we go. It's only a little chub, but hey, it's a bit of fun on the top water. What a blow up. Well, it's not a perch, but when I see chub, I cannot resist having a go. That was awesome. He blew up on that 3 or 4 times, and then I got him, and he snagged me. So this one's got the mentality of a 6-pounder, but he's probably more like 10 ounces. Sip him back anyway and carry on. There he goes.
Wrong competition, Robbie. If this was the 1 versus 1 pike and perch, you would have got half points for that chub.
Nah, I reckon he's spooked his little mates off. I will go and find something else to catch.
So, we've just moved spot. There is a bit of weed here, floating weed, but it's much more doable than the last spot. Always bite straight away. Just put on a little rock star. It's a little 4.5 centimetre paddle tail. Oh, there's loads of fish here, but they're all bloody hell tiny. It's always a good choice if you just want to go and get a bite, just to sort of see what's about. And there's loads and loads of little tiny fish. See if we can get a few of them, and then we can make changes to try to either keep the bites coming or see if we can get loads of hits, but they just keep falling off. It's really annoying. One thing to remember as well, when you are fishing on top water, there's a fish come up with it, a little one. If you are fishing on a top water bait, don't strike when you see the fish take the lure, just keep your retrieve going until you actually feel the weight of the fish. There's fish all over that, small ones though. Can't, where's the big ones? Look at them, look. Loads of them. Change them. Oh, he's come off. Well, these fish are bloody impossible. Right. Have one more chuck with this. There's fish. Oh, he's come off. It's more of a... There you go. Oh, he's come off. And this is more of a stubbornness thing now. These ain't going to win anything. One. Oh, he's only small, but I should probably be making more of an effort to either catch more of them or catch bigger fish, but this top water fishing is good fun. Right, so this is either gonna, we should get quite a few fish on this, but I don't know, let's see.
I think Ash has forgot he's in a competition. Those look far bigger than 10 centimetres. Will Pender is currently got 1 point for a top water 10 centimetre perch.
Right, little tiny one. That's always interesting when you can see the lure and you're getting hits and you can see that there's nothing's hit your lure. You'll be amazed the amount of times that perch will attack your drop shot weight. In that situation, it can be really effective to switch to a Ned rig because the fish are obviously feeding looking down. Yeah, it can be really effective. I caught a lot of big perch on Ned rigs after I've been on drop shot, getting bites without actually netting any, without actually hooking up with any fish. So it is amazing how many times that happens. They're still biting, they're just taking longer to bite. But I don't want to change colour just yet until we stop catching on every cast. Then we can change colour. You noticed as well that although we're still catching quick, it's slowed down a bit. And again, this is when you're fishing in the same area and you're putting the fish back straight away. They can spook. I say spook, but the rest of the shoal can get a little bit wary at times, especially on big fish. Probably not been the most entertaining watching me catch loads and loads of little 15 centimetre perch, but we're currently on 27 fish, 140 on the mat. Where I wanted to be was around 40 fish at this point with 2 40s on the mat, but it is what it is. We've made the best of what we've got in front of us, I think. So anyway, I'll see you in episode 2.
Welcome back, guys. We're at a new spot now. The first spot was very unproductive, I will say. Very similar spot. We've got some fast flowing water, lots of oxygen. Let's hope we can get out a big one. Nope. Oh. I don't know if you saw that, James, but I'm going to say it wasn't huge, but maybe a mid-30 perch, just missed the top water sienna pencil. Stunning spot.
Pot shotting with a jerkbait.
Nice little one on the jerkbait. Yep. There we go, nice little jerkbait, caught perch. I am practicing using all kinds of different stuff at the minute to see what's working, and they are reacting down on this little drop off with a jerkbait. I have seen some bigger fish down there, so we'll get this one back, maybe give her a measure, and let's get back down there. That's so close to 31. I'm gonna say 31. Right, that wraps up episode 1. We've got one half decent fish, I'm going to say. Let's get her back. There she goes.
Hopefully we're going to catch some big here. Right guys, we are in the next spot. I can tell you a quick story about where we are. So when you look on the shoreline, you can see plenty of rocks, right? And the same time bottom looks the same. I found wee space between here and over there, maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 meters that I can cast, and I should have not many snags. So the same time, like everyone know that perch like structure, so that spot, because it's so rocky, keep good population of perch. So hopefully we're gonna catch something. The mat is ready, lures is ready. Make a first cast on the new spot. I need a net. Just in case. It's just gonna be only. Oh, there was a bite. Small fish. Another one. Oh, another one. Oh my god. Very tiny perch. I would call that bait fish, but if there is a bait fish, there must be something bigger. Catch something. Oh, that was a fish. Tiny fish, tiny nibble. Oh, again. So for now, I don't want to waste time for a small fish. So I'm still focus on the big fish. I could change my setup for drop shot and try to targeting the small fish, but this is not all about. Early in the morning is the time for bigger fish. Through the day, when it's going to be a wee bit slowed down, then I can care about the numbers. But for now, I'm going to try catch something bigger. So we change of spot, we move to the left, and in the one cast I had 2 bites, probably fish around 25-30 centimeters, so it's nothing big, but you can feel it was okay. Midget killing me. On the drop. It's nothing big, but it's a clicker. Guys, it's nothing big, but it's still a clicker. But because we have struggled today with the big fish, I will just to put on the measure and take a photo as well. See, just in case. Right, guys. So what we got is at 27 centimeters, huge power of Scottish perch. So release it quick as possible, and let's continue fishing. Come on. Right. It's number 3. Just waiting for that good take. I really struggled today. So I need to change something, and the best option will be that new Ricky the Roach vibrations. I'm gonna keep tension on my line. So I'm gonna feel everything what's going on with my lure. I knew there is something wrong. That's a small perch. Oh, Jesus. Right, it's a clicker. Can't believe that. I guess nothing happened, so see you at the episode 2, and finger crossed we're gonna catch something bigger.
Fish number 2, and actually might even be smaller than the first one. We'll measure it. We'll measure the first 5, and then we'll have to start working out how we decide whether they're measurable or not. Jesus, had the whole bait down its throat. 12. Hold on, let's double check. No, we'll call it 11. We'll call it 11. I don't think a centimetre will make a difference. Yeah. Okay. Right, here we go. Fish number 2. Same size as the last one. 11 centimetres. Go on, mate. There you go. There you go. Quick. Here we go. Number 3. There we go. Number 3. Here we go. An absolute stomper. All of 16 centimetres. Makes the other 2 look like micro. Well, they were micros. Get a quick photo. Send to Dave. And that's number 3 on the clicker. Back it goes. That's the osprey up there, that's it. Just dead opposite us, it's just gone in that tree. You just heard it as well. Right, I just haven't found the right bait, I don't think. I thought going small would be the way, but I think I meant to grab their attention. Maybe something a little bit bigger. Yeah. Alright, that was it, the bait change. Literally, didn't even touch the bottom. Alright, that's another one to measure. Chill. We're going up in the world. 18 centimetres. We'll be at 50 in no time. There we go. Biggest of the bunch so far, 18 centimetres. We're just going to get 5 measured, and then I'll work out whether I need to sort of keep upgrading or just sort of wait for one that's slightly bigger. But I dread to think that I got, might get 4 big ones and then need 11 centimetres. So we are going to measure every one to start with. And then see if we can get them going. And that is clicker number 4. Oh, loads of fish follow. Right, okay. Loads of fish following there. That's interesting. Following almost every cast. And there's my 5. Get hold of it. No! It counts the capture, but not for the measuring board. It's a good job it wasn't 40 odd centimetre. And when I practiced, it was just constant bites, constant bites. Could be a time of day thing. I didn't fish this early, so they might need the warmth of the day to really switch them on. The problem you've got, Lake District in the summer gets busy, so I opted to come early for the day trippers and the walkers and the dog walkers and swimmers and paddle boarders, and everything else decides to come out and play. But a few minutes left of this episode, and just see if we can, even a couple more, if we can go sort of 6 or 7 into episode 2, I'd be pleased-ish. Big group of fish follow me in there. Big group. Now come on the tree. Right, let's measure this last one quickly before the end of episode 1.
Literally 1 minute to go. All right, 18 centimetres. There you go, that's my last fish of episode 1, so I've got to 5. No, 6. 6, because one I didn't measure, so. Click that. And yeah, I guess we'll send over our report for the end of episode 1.
So we've come to a kind of a deep hole. When I say a deep hole, at the moment it's a shallow but deeper than the rest of the river hole, and I haven't fished very much at all, but yesterday I came out with Momo and we had a little wander around, and we found, first thing in the morning, which is where we are now, some top water bites and a lot of perch. I mean, a lot of perch. And as is the way, the cameras are rolling, we've come back, I thought we'd be able to catch pretty much on every cast. And couldn't find them. But, again, just kind of trying to keep heads up. I was just about to say, right, let's go, let's twist and move to a different spot. And I've just seen a perch attack underneath this bush. So, I'm going to give this a couple of minutes. I think they're over there. Strange. I think now's the time to go and take the silly jacket off and the waterproof trousers and try a slightly different spot. They're just not quite having it in this particular location at the moment, so one last little swing at that bush and then let's go get out of this jacket. Right, so that's the end of episode 1. Kind of panned out how I thought it would be. I thought it would be small perch. I thought there'd be quite a lot more of them, to be honest. There is a spot just further down where there was loads of them, that there just wasn't anything today. So that's the way it is. We've got 3 on the clicker at the moment. Going to reset that for episode 2 and move on and see if we can find the rest of the card and then hopefully onto bigger perch for the rest of the day. So see you in the next one.
There should be no pressure, but I'm feeling so much pressure. I'm supposed to be having fun. I am having fun. I love fishing, but when it comes to a competition, you can't help be competitive, even though it's fun. Decisions. I'll try a slight colour change. See if that can get any more reaction. It's a small change from the Shad Impact to an easy shiner. A little bit of sparkle in the rain. Let's go. Come on, 3 more fish. And click. Pressure's on now, 10 minutes until the first 2 hours are done. Set myself a goal of not blanking. Done that. If you add them all up, I've probably had a decent fish. But fishing's fishing and it beats a day at work. Charlie, Ash and Michael are all big fish fanatics, and fair play guys, you smash it, but I just haven't got those big fish spot repertoires, so I'm going to do what I can, play the tactical. If points are what are needed for some points, something's better than nothing, and I'm just here having a bit of fun, so you got to do what you got to do. The spot I was going to go to is a pub. There we go. Fish of the first 2 hours of Perch League 2025. And I've clicked them. Okay, so 2 hours down, and the clicker is at 20. No monsters. 21 centimeters is the best. We'll take it. 10 centimeters on top water. That thing had absolutely no right doing what it did, but we'll keep on fishing, keep on adding the numbers. Let's have fun.
There we go. That's probably not a perch. Oh, it's a really nice chub. There we go. Whoop. Now that's not a bad chub at all. Right, into that. How cool is that? Well, welcome back to Lure Battle Chub Edition. I threw this little creature bait into the current and I held the tip low so it would roll right under the snag, and wallop, this guy absolutely inhaled it. I got a bit excited and thought he was bigger, but he's probably, you know, £3 10-ish. Nice fish either way. Great fight on a 1 to 7 gram rod. Anyway, we'll unhook it. It's the wrong species, but I'm dead stoked with that. We'll slip him back and carry on. That's so like a chub. It's like, am I? Brilliant. That's cool, isn't it? I think I prefer that to a perch. I was conscious that I'm only on right for the... Oh, there we go. Ah, there's a perch. There we are. Whee! So, there is the right species in here. I don't know whether I should just get a measure on this guy just to put something on the board. Yeah, why not? In fact, we're not. I'm almost certain someone's definitely got this guy jumped. He's probably not quite 20 centimetres, so we'll keep going. I think anything over 25 we'll take a measure of. So that is a wrap on day one with a monumental effort, 2 hours fishing for a grand total of 3 perch and 2 non-counting chub. But it has been a blast. To find fish from the off is always a good sign. Look forward to seeing you in episode 2.
That brings us to the end of today's episode and the first 2 hours of their fishing. It's been quite difficult for some of the anglers, but we've seen some amazing fish caught throughout the day, which has been great to see. I have found it quite strange that a lot of fish have been landed with not many of the anglers recording or measuring a top 5. However, Charlie Coppolo from Croix is currently the only one who's managed to fill his top 5 card with 74 centimetres in total. Now, moving over to the numbers point, Tacklewave's Will Pender's had an incredible start with 20 perch. However, that well-known big fish angler Ash Costa from Gunki UK is smashing it up with 27 perch so far. The top water action has been a little slow with only 1 perch on the scoreboard, measuring only in at 10 centimetres, but well done Will, it just goes to show you it's well worth measuring those top water fish. Now, we all want to catch a big one, and it looks like a few have struggled on the big fish front today, but Ash tops the leaderboard at the moment with that big 40 centimetre perch. So let's look at the scoreboard and see how we're looking so far after the first 2 hours. 4 anglers are unfortunately yet to score, but it's still very close at the top, with Will Pender getting 1 point for that 10 centimetre top water and Charlie getting a point for his top 5. However, Ash is currently sitting in first place, taking the numbers and the big fish points so far. But there's plenty of time left yet, and there's plenty of hours worth of fishing, so the scoreboard is bound to change. So that's it for episode 1. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on next week's episode.